A few moments later.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Sport Church, where we gather together at the altar of competition where grown men and women play with balls, drive around in circles, beat the shit out of each other. I'm your host, Friar Minnie, aka John Kermit, and I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. 2311 was my MOS, IOES, recovered care member of the E4 Mafia, and founding member of Barracks Party Media. We are live on Barracks Party Media on Rumble, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, and we're on Facebook Live. Make sure you go and get a Rumble account. Doesn't cost you anything. A lot of great content on there, including ours, which we'd hopefully eventually love to just actually be 100% on Rumble. Say that. Got a lot to unpack in a short time to do it. I got the whole crew with me today. So first up, he's our auto racing expert. Been in the business for over 50 years. So we know of no other person that words are hard. That knows so much and can speak so authentically on the subject. Please welcome to Sports Church, Pops.
Good afternoon, almost evening. Just glad to make it here. We're on the telephone today because I couldn't get the computer unburied in the back seat. So anyway, we're here and we can talk about some crazy stuff, including Stewart Horse racing.
Nice. All right, next up, he's United States Marine Corps veteran as well. He hails from the great state of Wisconsin, which is where I hail from originally. His MOS was comms. We'll let that slide. He's a regular contributor to the bar, co-host to Sports Church as well. He's our hockey guy as well. And before, if you listen with earbuds or headphones or whatever, just make sure you take a brief 2 seconds and pull him away from you, because he does this thing. He's got a thing. So that's the thing.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. All right, man. How you doing?
All right. I mean, obviously last night I got the bare face because my Admirals.
Oh no!
Playoffs. Yeah, it didn't go so well. They lost 5-1 in game 5 there. So yeah, I think it was game 5. Yeah, game 5. Yeah, they avoided the sweep. They had a 7-2 win to avoid the sweep, and then they got crushed 5-1 in the next game. So is what it is. But we'll go over more hockey stuff later. Had some good fights to watch. I don't know if you guys checked them out at all on Amazon. But
I did not. Cool. All right.
And now for something completely different.
He's a United States Marine Corps veteran. 2311 was also his MOS. We served alongside each other in the beautiful all-inclusive resort known as Las Pulgas, guest of the most holistic company in Marine Corps history, Ammo Company, First Supply Battalion, First Force Service Sport Group, the beautiful big First Mar Div. Without further ado, our gambling and MMA contributor, the one, the only brother Bishop Pook Dog.
We only see your head.
Let us proclaim the mysteries of $15,000 worth of damage at the Waldorf Astoria famous hotel in Beverly Hills.
Isn't that like a knocked over lamp?
Bro, I don't know what Ryan Garcia did, but they're talking about felony charges here, man. I have no idea.
15 grand in damage?
Yeah, 15 grand in damage. Ryan Garcia.
I did not
vandalism.
Seems a bit low for felony.
Well, felony vandalism, and well, they're not caught up to their shoplifting laws, obviously. And
so what did he do?
Because felony vandalism, I'm not sure. He busted the place up, I guess. Got drunk and busted the place up. That's my guess. For what's being reported is $15,000 worth of damage. 400 in California is a felony. Felony vandalism in California. They don't. George Soros hasn't. He needs to get involved and get this at least up to like where it's, I don't know, 10 grand in damage, right? You should be able to like at least set fire to something, set fire to a telephone booth without going to prison. I mean, especially in a protest, especially if it has something to do with the latest cause, right?
Well, then there wouldn't be charges.
Yeah. Oh, they're probably just want that. That's right. If you keep it at 400 and somebody vandalizes like a pride flag or something, yeah, now we're good, right? So you're right. So we probably should keep it at 400. You're right. Just in case one of the MAGA people decide to vandalize something, lock them up.
Oh, they'll still get them on hate crime charges. Then
shut the fuck up. No one cares. Know your fucking place, trash.
Is this a sports show?
Supposed to be.
Yeah, get back on the rails, Minnie. What the hell?
All right, Pook.
I mean, was there a reason why he did all that shit or what?
I have not, the reports. This is all new. This is all
always
breaking
drugs.
News.
It's always drugs.
I think drugs and alcohol definitely.
Yeah.
Who knows? He might have got into a physical altercation with somebody. Who knows what happened? I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything from Ryan Garcia. If somebody in the chat knows more about it, jump on and let us know. But why did I get the Rickroll for that? Don't get me wrong. I enjoy my Rickrolls. It's some good music. You can do that again. But why do I get the Rickroll? Because I don't know what's going on in Ryan Garcia's poisoned mind. I have no idea what's going on in his head, why he did that.
All right.
I know what you know.
Lighten up, Francis.
I know exactly what the internet knows about the subject right now. I could speculate. I mean, we could speculate. Hey, that brings. Are we going to go right into my segment, or what are we doing?
I guess.
I guess. Okay. All right. Well, I actually got I'm pretty sure it's the very last thing I said. Might have been the second to last thing.
It's sending like 4,000 things and constantly locked
I
up
know.
my
Well,
iPhone.
you know what. Here's the thing. I realize you're a producer and you're freaking pressing buttons all the time, and you're trying to pay attention to the show, and I feel your pain. But I noticed how I don't know much about auto racing, admittedly so. The slides help me out. When Pop does his show and he's got the slides, they help me out. Like if someone has no idea who the people I'm talking about, they're casual M&A fans. They don't know who they are. These slides really help out. So our slides and videos and stuff like that, these are nice little tools that we got. But the second to the last thing I sent you, the Conor clip. This is actual footage of Conor McGregor training right now. You can pull this up. I got some footage.
Oh boy.
There's Conor. Has he got beer in his hand? Yeah, that's him training. He's training hard for this Chandler fight. That's Conor there training. He actually had a press conference on, I believe it was this Monday in Dublin. He didn't show up for it, and then all the rumors on the internet, fight canceled. Then his fights back on. Then Ariel Helwani came on like Tuesday and said, "Oh, the fight's back on." So I don't know. I don't know if he got injured drinking or what happened. He definitely didn't get injured training. So guy probably got injured drinking, and there was a little scare whether the promotion is going to be in effect.
Lacerated liver.
So we know he's got that, right? Man, you can't do all those steroids and all that alcohol and not have other issues, I imagine. But getting on with things. First UFC fight I want to talk about, the very last clip I sent you. We got Raul Rojas Jr. You might know this guy. He's an up and coming fighter here in the UFC. Has a lot of personality. Submitted Ricky Tarcasos with a rear naked choke last night. So go ahead and pull that guy up if you can. Got a little clip of him, just so you know who I'm talking about.
That's a pretty popular hold, isn't it? The rear naked choke.
Rear naked choke. That's a lot of guys' bread and butter, man. That ended a lot of fights, especially early on.
Please, it's time to go big. Hey, I'm 19 years old now. I want to buy my mother a house. And it would be such a blessing to be able to do it right now at 19 years old, like I promised her when I started this career at 4 years old. So Dana, 100 G's, baby.
Yeah, so that's Raul Rojas Jr. He is, if you bought Paulo Costa on Wish. If you bought Paulo Costa on Wish, that's Raul Rojas Jr. So Dominic Reyes, I actually got a picture of him. He's the fella I sent you four or five pictures. He's actually the guy wearing no shirt. So if you pull that guy up, we'll talk a little bit about him. He's the guy wearing no shirt. He's just a picture of him wearing no shirt with a pair of MMA trunks, just so we know who we're talking about. He fought Dustin Jacoby last night, and he won. He won with a KO. Wasn't expecting a KO. He's been on a 4-fight loss streak ever since he had a very close decision to John Jones. I don't know if you remember that. I really believe that, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I'm not sure if he did enough in that fight to beat John Jones, but if I'm scoring that fight, I got him winning that fight. So he won that fight in my mind, and then went on to freaking do a tailspin. He rattled off, had a horrible time with depression and whatnot, rattled off a bunch of losses in a row. He's back. He says he's back. He contended for the title. We'll see what happens coming up. Like I said, Dustin Jacoby's never been stopped. He stopped him. So that brings us to our main event of the evening, and that would be Jared Cannonier and Imavov. And if you pull up from the same set of slides that I sent you, it's going to be Imavov and Jared Cannonier actually in the fight. They're actually throwing punches. So just so you know who I'm talking about when we're talking about these guys. Yeah, that's Imavov. Now the whole MMA world, this is pretty competitive fight, and it ended in the fourth round, Jason Herzog saw enough. I don't know if the rest of us saw enough, though. A lot of people thought this was a very early stoppage, including all the fighters. Like just about any fighter. You go on Twitter, just about any fighter you can name commented on this. Gilbert Burns commented on it. I can't think of everybody. There's probably 20 or 30 different fighters that commented on saying this early stoppage. Refs got a hard job. You know, obviously Imavov thinks it was a good decision to stop the fight. Jared Cantonier was a gentleman. He's a gentleman about it. He really didn't have much to say about it. Pook's opinion, early stoppage. These refs, though, very tough job. Very tough jobs. They got to protect the fighter. He saw enough. Jared Cantonier got rocked a couple of times. He was in retreat. He was running away from Imavov, trying to get his bearings from him. Got cracked a couple more times. Jason Herzog saw enough of that, and that was over. Now, we can get into the lighter side of MMA. Take a look at this. And Eddie Hall is proving why there's weight classes in this, because he went up against, in a freak fight, he went up against the Nafiti brothers. The Nafiti brothers who are actually, that's Ryan Garcia news.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
Yeah.
That's all right. We talked about that. I got information as that little clip that you posted.
We lose
Which one
Pops. This is like a circle now.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
My computer.
This is something.
Which one
Oh, there he is.
I thought you were pulling up the.
What do you need?
I thought the little circle you're pulling up the Eddie Hall fight. The Nafetti brothers. Two actual MMAers, and this is why we got weight classes, folks, because I imagine Eddie Hall's had some MMA training, but he is not an MMAer. As you know, he's a strong man. You know, he's the mountain.
Is this what you're looking for?
That's Ryan Garcia. That's him busting up the Waldorf Astoria. He's on his way. He's marching off to bust up the Waldorf Astoria right there. Yeah, look at him. He's strutting his way. I mean, Ryan Garcia probably has enough money for all that to go away anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
It probably is not going to turn into a felony on him, but who knows? Who knows?
All right, what else you got, Pook, in here?
Eddie Hall, man, the video of Eddie Hall in the freak fight, I guess that's later.
Oh. Head on the couch. I don't have
This is not a slide. This is actual video. This is the very first one I sent you today. I trust me, everyone out there in the audience, it's worth waiting for. If you haven't seen this, this is classic. This is classic. This guy's proven why there's weight classes in this.
All right, hold on a second.
It's definitely worth the wait. Definitely worth the wait. Take a look at this.
God. Every other thing I try to send from WhatsApp to my fucking phone freezes my phone.
That's not good.
Oh.
Maybe we got to figure something else out, Minnie. But I definitely like sending the videos and the slides. I think it lets people know what's going on a little bit, especially the casual fans.
Absolutely. There we go.
Definitely worth the wait. Take a look at this. If you have not seen it, it's worth the wait.
Now as well. And here we go on the replay.
This is why there's weight classes, guys. These guys are real fighters.
Are in right now as well. And here we go on the replay.
Wow.
They're lifting up on the pile driver. Now they're closing the distance. There's the right hand as he comes in. Are in right now as well.
Like, it makes you wonder.
Tossed him like a rag doll.
Dude, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, could this guy fight heavyweight in the UFC, man? I mean, probably couldn't pass a USADA test, but they don't have USADA anymore. So it's very interesting, man. Very interesting. That's why we got weight classes, and that's why they started weight classes, you know.
Yeah.
When everything is pretty much fair and everyone has the same amount of skills and training, the bigger, stronger man always wins. I mean, that's part of the problem. That's why you have to have weight classes. So, you know, so we got the Conor fight coming up soon. We know about that. We talked about that. We saw some of his training footage and everything. And I'm not sure if that's even going to happen. Now, I was going to Bevmo today, and I was going to hold up the bottles. I'm not. I never made it to Bevmo. I forgot my wallet. I drove to Costco today, and I didn't have my wallet. So me and my lady had to go back home. I imagine, you can imagine she wasn't too thrilled with that. 20-minute drive there, 20-minute drive back. So I never made it to Bevmo. I ended up buying a bunch of liquor at Costco. They didn't have none of your brands, man. They had Jameson, but they didn't have the Special Reserve, and they didn't have any Buffalo Trace. They had some really good bourbon, but that wasn't the deal. I'm not going to grab some really high-end bourbon that wasn't part of our deal. But guaranteed, when you see me in person, if Connor actually wins this fight, next time you see me, I will have your bottles in hand for sure, Minnie. Guaranteed. Even though I don't have them with me right now. I bought other stuff. You want to see what else? I bought some Screwball. I bought some Kirtland Scotch. Bought some Kirtland vodka, Irish cream and stuff. Nothing for Minnie though. That'll have to be a trip to Bevmo. That'll be another trip. That'll be another $400 out of Poop's wallet somehow, because I'm going to buy other stuff, right? Of course. So,
you know what? One of the whiskey groups I was on, somebody took a picture in the Philippines of Buffalo Trace for like $35 in the conversion. The conversion from pesos into dollars. It's like, man, when I go there this summer, I'm gonna have to pick up a bottle if it's only $35.
Nice.
Hell yeah, man! That never. Hey, your wife has to like that clean face of yours. It seems like all the Filipinas.
Yeah,
they like the clean cut.
She always bugs me to shave. So it's like once a year she gets to be happy when the Admirals lose.
Yeah, I imagine. She likes that. I know that's the style over there. They really like the clean cut, look. But that exchange rate, my man, when I was over there, that never ceased to amaze me. Just when I thought things couldn't get freaking any more ridiculous, like it was insane. You run a boat with a crew for freaking like 6 hours, and you have them drive you around and park at beaches and resorts, and you go fishing off the boat, and the bill's $80 American. Try that in the U.S., bro.
Yeah,
it's not happening. It's not happening. It's crazy. So as I was getting to what's happening in the UFC next, we got the Conor fight, which we don't know is even going to happen. And the same time we got the Conor fight, we're going to be able to take another look at MVP. MVP is going to be fighting. MVP is going to be fighting, as you know, Ian Gary. So I'm really excited about that one. You got Jamal Hill's going to be on that card as well. And Ian Gary, Michael Venom Page. I hope Michael Venom Page is a good dog, because I want to bet on Michael Venom Page. I think Michael Venom Page, if Michael Venom Page has been knocked out a couple of times, we know that. So he's not got a perfect record. But I think if he don't play around too much, and if he hasn't lost a step, which I don't think he has, he was moving around really good in that last fight. If he hasn't lost a step, I think he beats Ian Gary. I think there's a price there for you. That's the Pooks gambling contribution there. Bet Michael Venom Page in this next pay-per-view. Don't go crazy though, because he could get knocked out. Anyone can get knocked out. These are fights. Anyone can win or lose, especially at this level.
For sure.
Yeah, and like I said, we got the Conor fight. Got the Conor fight on that card. That's the next big pay-per-view coming up. International Fight Week. So I'm definitely going to have to figure out a way to watch the whole card, one way or another. Anything else that I sent you that I'm leaving out here?
Yeah, what's going on with Tyson and?
You know what? We got honestly, pumping up a week before the Conor fight. 1 week before the Conor fight on the 22nd, we got Whitaker Chimaev. It's going to be on ABC, so that card's going to be on ABC as well. So that's going to be a good one. I'm definitely going to watch that. I'll definitely watch that. So UFC on ABC 6, Whitaker versus Chimaev. You know, as we know, Whitaker used to be the champion. Chimaev, freaking hell of a fighter, hell of a fight coming up on there.
Yeah. What about the?
Hell yeah, Minnie.
What about this?
What about Bob, Minnie?
What about Jake
Are
Paul?
you looking at the screen with the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson?
Oh, yeah. I did send you that. Go ahead. You know what? Go ahead. I think everybody knows what Mike Tyson and Jake Paul look like, but I gave you a slide for that as well. Yeah, there you go. And that's going to happen November 15th now. It looks like the Paul brothers, even though, hey, I didn't report bad scoop. I didn't give you no bum scoop last week. Last week, the Paul brothers were talking about fighting one another. They're talking about fighting one another. I guess that's not going to happen now. I guess they're just rescheduling the Mike Tyson fight. I imagine the people at Netflix didn't like that idea because they were promised Tyson and they didn't want to, substitute Paul's brother for Mike Tyson, and I don't blame him. Even though I was saying that might be just as big a fight with all the young people that are going to be watching it, because obviously the Paul brothers, huge stars, prime. They got that prime energy drink. Jake Paul's got that prime energy drink. Logan Paul's got the prime energy drink. Jake Paul's being sponsored by Celsius, so we got a little bit, and the brothers got their rivalry. I mean, it was set up to be a real fight, or a real spectacle at least. I was looking forward to it. I don't believe that's going to happen because he's not going to fight his brother. Not going to fight his brother on July 20th and turn around. I don't believe it. It's not going to happen anymore. They just talked about it. Hell, they might have just talked about it just to keep themselves in the loop. And I might have bought it hook, line, and sinker. It made sense to me. I mean, what else are you going to do? Mike Tyson drops out of the fight. The next best thing you can do is probably bring in Logan, with the sibling rivalry and everything else. I mean, that wraps up my MMA segment for this week. Unless you guys got anything else. Oh, T, you got a whole bunch of news on ONE FC. I did not get bro, like I said, man, I got a lot going on. By the way, I got a poker party tomorrow night. And I got probably 20 people coming over. We're gonna have tournaments and stuff like that. So I had to get ready for that. I had to work last night. You guys are invited. You guys want to hop on a plane? I got an extra bedroom. You guys can play some cards. But that being said, I mean, a lot of stuff's going on right now. I managed to watch that Cannonier fight. Thank God I got that in. I got to see the early stoppage for myself, so I'm not speaking on something I don't know about. Competitive fight, wasn't a bad card at all. The whole card wasn't bad last night for a free fight night. So,
hey, be careful about invites. Southwest used to run $15 deals to Phoenix from Cincinnati.
I've been telling you guys since I got this new place because before I was renting a room from a guy. Now me and the lady, we have our own spot. I got my tabernacle behind me. And yeah, if you can get a flight out here and there's an event you want to go to, a lot of events in Phoenix, it's not just spring training, but I had an open invitation for everybody, including the cancer rat. I told them all, I said, hey, you guys can come out here and you guys can stay. And I got your dinner and I got your game. And no one took me up on the offer. So if you want to grab a $15 Southwest flight and you want to play some cards, come on out. We'll be playing cards Monday night.
Does Southwest fly Boeing?
Oh man, I'm sure they got some.
Sure,
Boeings.
they got some.
I've been on some Boeings, man. I've never, man. That's a crazy deal, man. I mean, man, I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of that. It's almost
That's
like
what she said.
almost like a sabotage. It's incredible what's going on.
Almost. All right, who's next? T, do you want to go off so I can get a cigarette?
Well, he could talk a little. If you're not done talking MMA, he could talk.
I was going to
There's
do
some really
the
good fighters over there.
Yeah, I was going to do the one section. I watched the 167 just happened. It was at Impact Arena in Bangkok, Thailand. this is where you get your actual signed fighters. Every Friday they have one Friday fights, and those are guys that are up and comers trying to get in. But all the guys on this card, for the most part, are people that have already been signed to a contract. There were a couple of undercard fighters that made it onto the ticket. Mainly, one of the main events had to be canceled. Stamp Fairtex is one of the big stars in the one promotion. She got injured during training. She was supposed to have a match against her former training partner, Denise Zamboanga of the Philippines, but that fight ended up getting canceled, and Denise had a kind of an undercard fighter that came up to fight her. Also, Johan Estupidon of Colombia just made his debut 2 weeks ago on the One Friday Fights, and got put in the first fight of the night on this card. Yeah, I think he's the first fighter in the promotion out of Colombia. He's very electric, very high energy. He actually leaped over the top of the cage to enter the ring. He scored a unanimous decision over Turkey's Safir Sayef. I'll skip forward.
Good job saying that name, bro.
Yeah, right. Then I'll get into some of the American fighters that were there. There's a Malaysian American fighter. His name's Johan Ghazali. He goes by a nickname Jojo. He's been on a 10-fight winning streak, working his way up the rankings. Unfortunately, that got derailed. He lost in a unanimous decision to Nguyen Duy Nhat out of Vietnam. I actually thought that when I was watching, I thought that Jojo won the first and the last round, but I guess the judges didn't see it that way. They all had Duy Nhat winning. I guess he must have edged him out in the last round. Then the fight I really wanted to talk about, Adrian Lee of the Lee family has been big in one. This is the first time somebody in the Lee family has fought since the suicide of Victoria, the prodigy Lee, back in 2022. She was an up-and-comer. The oldest of the Lee family, Christian Lee, is now the coach at the gym. They renamed their gym to Prodigy MMA after their sister's nickname from the league. He was a two-division champion and won. Had two belts simultaneously. His other sister, Angela Lee, was the very first atomweight women's champ. So there's a lot of hype about Adrian Lee coming in. And he was fighting, what was this guy's first name? Mamarella out of Australia, Antonio Mamarella. The first round, Lee dominated it. Almost had Mamarella finished in the first round. He kind of got saved by the bell. But then, second round, Lee once again dominated it, caught him in a rear naked choke, took his back, got the rear naked choke set in, and he ended up submitting him 2 minutes into the second round. But yeah, it's a real sad story. And I remember when Victoria Lee died, they didn't really report what it was from. I actually hadn't realized it was suicide until Adrian was fighting, and I looked it up because that was like 2022. That was still kind of around the whole athletes dying suddenly. So I don't know if it was one of those situations, but apparently it was a suicide that she died from.
Yeah, I remember that, and I speculated on that as well. I remember reporting on that, and there at the time there wasn't any news on the cause. There was no news on the cause.
Yeah.
So that's the fact that she committed suicide is news to me, even though it's old news, because that didn't make headlines.
Yeah, I remember it was like December of 2022, and I think we talked about it on Sports Church.
Oh, we talked about it for about 10 minutes, man. But we had no idea why she passed. It was all kinds of speculation.
It was kind of tight-lipped, and there was never really an update that came out. You kind of had to search for it. So,
well, in this day and age, whenever there's a death, all of a sudden, and things are tight-lipped, I immediately, my brain just switches. It's like, oh shit, this was a vaccination injury. Obviously, that's just the way I think. But my mind's been poisoned. You know, they got what they wanted. They got us not trusting what we hear, and that's what they wanted out of all this. I believe this is all planned and scripted, the COVID narrative. But that's my opinion. I've just got us deplatformed again. Thanks, Boo. Thanks for deplatforming us.
It happened. Yeah. Then the next fight started off the main card fights. Denise Zamboanga was supposed to have the co-main event. Unfortunately, Stamp Fairtex had gotten injured during training, so she didn't get her title shot. They're former training partners together, so this was going to be the first time they actually fought each other, representing different gyms. So they slotted in Noelle Grandjean. She's a French Thai fighter, second-degree black belt in judo and Muay Thai fighter. Just fought a month ago. I think this was Grandjean's third fight so far this year, but she's been on the Friday fights. She hasn't been on a main card before, and I don't believe she's actually signed to an actual contract. So as expected, Zamboanga dominated her. Could have finished it in the first round. She had a pretty tight rear naked choke caught in there, but she didn't sink it in until the last 5 seconds of the round. So she managed to hang on for the round, and they kept the fight on the feet for the most part. And Zamboanga just dominated the striking all 3 rounds. Grandjean's face looked pretty morphed by the end of the fight. Moving on, we had this fight was, I don't know, I guess I can mention it. I don't even know how to say this guy. Sit Hit Chai out of Thailand was fighting Japanese phenom Masaki Nori. He had a pretty hyped debut, but the killer kid Sit Chai, who's ranked number 3. So for a guy getting for his debut fight a shot at the number 3 ranked fighter right off the bat, that's how highly thought of he was. But Nori ended up getting I'm trying to remember this, but I think he got knocked out in the 3rd round. And yes, Chai was ahead. Then you had the Cade Rutolo, another American fighter. He's actually the featherweight submission grappling champion, but he made his debut as an MMA fighter. So this was his first time fighting with strikes allowed. He fought another American, Blake Cooper, out of Hawaii. First round stayed on its feet for the most part, but then Cooper kind of got rocked, and he tried to go in for a takedown. And when you're going against the best submission grappler, that's not a great idea. So he got locked into a rear naked choke and got choked out with about a minute 50 left in the first round. So Rutolo was successful in his debut as MMA. But the next pay-per-view, he's going to be fighting another American who's also a grappling champion in a different division, Mike Musumeci. Musumeci had a fight against Gabriel Souza. Gabriel Souza was the last person to beat Musumeci, which was 4 years ago. And this time Musumeci caught Gabriel Souza in a calf slicer. Took him 5 minutes and 10 seconds to get the submission. For the
half slicer.
Yeah,
I would love to see I'm probably, if I remember to do it, hopefully I do. I'd love to see the footage of that. I've never seen a calf slicer submission. I don't even know what I'll be honest. I've been watching this for freaking 20 years plus.
There's video with this, so
I'm sure it's a real.
The thing is,
I guarantee it's a real submission. I'm just saying I'd like to see it. I've never seen one.
Yeah, I can pull the video up. I just don't know if we're gonna get flagged because it's one's video.
I don't know if you'll get flagged for one or not, because they love to promote. I've noticed that's one thing about one, and they do have fighters that rival the UFC fighters. They got quality fighters out there. This is Really, really good. All right, let's
All
take a look at this. The calf slicer.
No.
Their stuff's
rerouted me
readily
to-
available. Like their content's readily available. It's easier to watch. Way easier to watch than the
we
UFC.
go.
Obviously, the UFC wants to get paid.
Yeah, go for it, T. Go ahead. I didn't realize I was muted. Sorry. Looking shit up.
Hit the go button.
Right?
A go.
Oh, the wrong button.
Yeah, that was the calf slicer. Kind of has his knee trapped in like a triangle and then bent it backwards.
He put that on really fast.
Oh, you want me to put it back?
I wanted to see it. I don't know. I thought that was how quick it went.
Oh,
I
you
had
didn't
no idea.
No, you fucked it up.
This is very, very painful. He has to really be careful. He does not give up back control here.
Oh, man. He's got
You
that guy
can see
twisted
he's
up
got
like a
this
pretzel.
triangle around calf. That was the calf.
What a performance by Mikey Musumeci!
Man, that guy's like a Kami-esque, man. Okami-esque. That's like a Kami finish right there, man. I don't know if you remember Okami from the Pride days. The guy that wore the full rash gear.
Yushin Okami?
Yeah. That was like an Okami. That was
I
like something you
remember
see
that
from
guy.
Okami back in the day. That was
Yushin
he had that
Okami.
guy
That guy
twisted
was a
up like a
beast.
pretzel.
I remember
Imagine getting
that
twisted
guy.
up like that in front of all your friends and family. Oh my God. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, then
Hey, you guys
that
may
was
have covered this.
revenge fight.
Go ahead.
Mikey Musumeci was pretty fired up in the post-fight interview. Actually, they apologized about all the swearing in it because he was pissed. I guess Souza, being the last guy that beat him, was talking a lot of crap online, I guess on Twitter, and he was upset because he was saying stuff about his family and stuff. So the post-fight interview was interesting. But then they got Cade Ruotolo, who's going to be fighting in submission grappling at the next at 168 into the ring, which Ruotolo is a lot bigger than Mikey Musumeci. So if I was a betting man, I'd probably go with Ruotolo. And when Ruotolo came in there, Musumeci had all kinds of respect for Ruotolo, but he personally does not get along with Souza at all. That fight was personal for him. So. But yeah, Cade Ruotolo is a featherweight, and Musumeci is like 2 weight classes. He's jumping up 2 weight classes to take that fight. So, submission grappling, I think size is going to play a bit into it too. Then you had the number one fighter, ranked contender, Rod Tang in kickboxing, going against Dennis Purick out of Canada. He's a refugee to Canada from Bosnia, from back during when the whole Bosnia thing was going on. Rod Tang's a bit younger. He's only 26 years old. Purick is 39, so he's kind of towards the end of his career. But Purick wanted this fight. He's been calling for this fight for 4 years. He did get it to go the distance, but yeah, it was a unanimous decision. Rod Tang was dominating the fight the entire way around. And then finally, the main event of the night, you had Tawanshi fighting Smoking Joe Nadawat, both Muay Thai fighters. They were this was the second time they fought. The first time it was a kickboxing rules. This is the first time they fought Muay Thai, and it was for the belt. Tawanshi edged out Nadawat. It was razor close, and the owner, I forget how to say this guy's name. It's like Chatteri, the guy that owns one. Anyway, he said it was so. He thought that actually Nadawat won because Nadawat did more damage. Tawanshi landed more blows, but Nadawat was landing stronger blows by damage. So the owner already is saying he wants to schedule a third fight between these two, and the third one he wants to do in Atlanta, Georgia, because Joe Nadawat moved to Atlanta, so he actually lives here in the States when he's not fighting in Thailand. So probably going to be a 1 card coming up in Atlanta at some point, and that'll be the headliner of it, the 3rd fight in a trilogy for these guys.
Oh shit! Right in the UFC's backyard, the United States of America. All right.
Yeah. Well, and the next 168 that's coming up, that's going to be in Denver at the Ball Center, or whatever they call that arena.
Oh yeah, you spoke of that last. Remember you spoke of that last time. Last time you did a little MMA segment with me, you spoke of that.
Right now, they do still have Stamp Fairtex fighting on that card. She was injured and got pulled off of this card, but she's supposed to be having a fight against another champion, this Chinese fighter, Zhang. Forget her last name. I don't got it in front of me right now. But there's going to be a unification fight there, and then I believe there's another title fight going on that card too. So that'll be a good one. But that's not
this last one. Though, this last one in Thailand. Oh my God! Go to Bangkok. You know, that would have been a nice trip, man. Go to Bangkok and watch those fights. Oh my God!
And the Friday fights that are on every week, those are at Lumpini Stadium in Bangkok. This one was at Impact though, because it was a bigger deal.
Man,
beautiful. It's a nice looking stadium. You look at the when they had the outside shots while they were going on. It kind of looks like one of those Asian castles you'd think of from the outside, and it's right on the river, so you got boats and stuff going right past.
I gotta go.
Yeah, it's a real beautiful looking arena.
Are you gonna take the 15-hour flight?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the deal. I've already done it. I've already taken those flights. I got help. Take a little, a little.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting out there for one of them too. But yeah,
I get help. But no, I'm. Maybe we can figure it out together, because my beautiful lady, Miss Ellie, she has ancestry in Vietnam, and she actually her mother was from Vietnam, and her mother wants to make a trip here to see relatives coming up sometime, maybe next year, maybe 2 years from now. As long as we don't blow ourselves up with nuclear war or anything crazy like that. I'll definitely make it. I'm definitely going to make it there. I got to go see these fights. If they're still running them like that every Friday night in Bangkok, if I go to Vietnam, I'm going to want to go to Thailand as well, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd want to.
Well, the Friday night fights at Lumpini, it's a little different than the regular Muay Thai fights too, because they wear the MMA gloves for their Muay Thai fights instead of the boxing gloves.
Very interesting. The little gloves, very interesting. Now,
they're wearing
Ariel
Helwani
has a show. It's called the MMA Hour. We're getting close to beating him. We're getting close to beating the hour. We turned this. We hijacked your show, Minnie. We've turned it into the MMA 48 minutes. We hijacked your show. It's no longer the sports church.
I can't imagine.
MMA.
I can't imagine that they would do that. That never happens.
Well, I mean, MMA is the best thing going out there right now.
Well, here's the thing: if you're tuning in to listen to Pop's analysis of auto racing and Minnie's analysis of baseball, and you think that MMA is vulgar, disgusting, human cockfighting, we might have lost you already. We might have lost our audience. We might have lost half of our audience.
You know what? When I'm in the Philippines in August, I could try and get some video of some cockfights. So we can go full circle.
There you go.
Hey, Poop, this will get you. You know how we always have trouble pronouncing some of these guys' names?
That's terrible. I do a horrible job. I need to get fired.
NASCAR's got it figured out. We got a guy from not Australia. What's the other little island down that way?
New Zealand.
There you go. Wait. He's a hell of a racer. He came in and won his first race in Chicago. Now he's won one in Portland. and he's racing all over the place. He's racing full time in Xfinity, and his name is so wonderful. They now know him as SBG because they don't want to pronounce his name. It's SBG.
That makes sense. I wish I could do that with half the MMAers. Just give them an acronym.
That's like when Giannis started playing here in Milwaukee, the radio announcer just called him the alphabet because he didn't want to say Akatunko.
I can believe that. Wow.
Yeah, you know what?
Another dump for the alphabet.
That's the crazy thing about these names. When you first see them, especially in print, and you first hear them, they're like impossible to pronounce. But after you start, you know, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and I just butchered his name, but Khabib whatever. Yeah, you know. Yeah, Nurmagomedov and Giannis Adacapulco and all that, you know. They're less challenging over time. That's for sure. Shaquille O'Neal. I remember I had problems with Shaquille O'Neal. And I'm like, Shakula. You know, I couldn't say his name. Shakula. Shook. You know that guy Shook? What are you talking about, Shaq, bro? Oh, yeah, Shaq, yeah. Shaquilla.
Shaquilla. What's this today?
And now for something completely different.
Auto racing, maybe?
Should I do auto racing? Get us off the hook.
Get it.
We got two auto races going on right now. IndyCar is racing, and so is NASCAR. And believe it or not, they're both on road courses. IndyCar is up at Elkhart Lake, the prettiest road course you ever want to race on.
Yes, it is.
And the NASCAR boys are out west, and that'll be an interesting deal. The weird thing that went on this week is that F1 drivers are now criticizing their teams.
Oh.
Max Verstappen came out and said, look, we got problems and we got to really work on them. We can't get this car to go over curbs. And we got a race coming up next week in Canada where they got the same kind of curbs and we're going to be in trouble. Well, that criticism went the way of, guess who won Canada? Max Verstappen wins Canada. Lando Norris came in second. George Russell came in third. Lewis Hamilton came in fourth. Oscar Piastri came in fifth. It's absolutely a riot that in F1 these teams are coming alive. It used to be Red Bull dominated. Mercedes was doing okay. They used to be the dominant team, and Ferrari would get close. But now it's actually weird. You're seeing McLaren up there in the standings. The actual standings show that Red Bull is leading. Ferrari is in second, nicely in second. They're only 31 points behind, so that is very pleasant for them. It's I don't know. They're still having trouble with the Andretti entry. They want Andretti to buy out a team, and the weak team that they tried to buy was the Williams team, and they're worth probably close to $1 billion right now. They found a solution, had a buyer come in, and they're actually producing. So they're not in the party to be sold. It's looking very ugly for McLaren. I just don't see how the hell they get in it. You got Red Bull, Ferrari. Leclerc is doing decent for Ferrari, but they're going to have a change in their lineup next year because Lewis is moving over to Ferrari next year. There's all kind of teams that are shuffling around. So the weird season of the end of the year is going to be really weird this year because you got some big people moving. The other crazy part of racing is that Stewart-Haas Racing, which 4 teams plus a Xfinity team, they're disappearing. He is withdrawing from the sport. Tony Stewart formed this team in conjunction with Carl Haas. Now this is the weird part. Carl Haas got out of jail. He was convicted on some crimes, doing business type crimes. So he went to jail, did his time, came out and formed his Formula One racing team, and he also had a car in NASCAR, and the car was doing diddly squat. And so he went to Tony Stewart, who he thought was a pretty awesome dude, and said, "Here's the deal, Tony. I got this team, and I can't do shit with it. If you'd like to form a bigger team and really make it a winner, I'll make you half partner." And Tony said, "Okay." And he formed the Stewart-Haas Racing team. And the first year, he went out and won the championship. Excuse me. But anyway, he ended up retiring and had trouble, getting good drivers. He's now down to Ryan Preece, Josh Perry, Noah Gragson, and Chase Briscoe. And they came to the conclusion that in combination with Tony's involvement with drag racing, he just can't spend the time with the NASCAR team to keep them on their toes. And so the 4 guys in Cup are not producing. And people are actually blaming Tony and Carl Haas for not putting in the time with the NASCAR boys. And they decided, well, if we're not spending the time, there's no sense in being here. And so they are selling out the entire team.
Wow.
They're selling all the buildings, all the engineering staff, all the equipment, all the cars. These 4 guys that are running in Cup, they're all Cup qualified drivers. But it's like Josh Perry. He used to race for Junior Motorsports, and he's got quite a good record. But he really doesn't have much, record in Cup, and so he could be the odd guy out because he doesn't have the background. Ryan Preece is also a newcomer to Cup, and it is a iffy guy, to be honest with you. Noah Gragson's got a pretty good record. Chase Briscoe's got a pretty good record. So he's got, they're going to move their way on, but it's unusual to see a 4-car team disappear, to put it that way. You think about that, that's probably 500 people that are losing their job.
Holy shit.
And that is wild. That is totally strange to see something like that happen. Now, I guarantee you 449 of them are going to be hired the very next day because they're all quality people. But you still got 50 people that are going to go adrift because they're they just can't find space for them. I don't know. Is it a sign of NASCAR having problems? The problem, the reason why Stewart left NASCAR is that he is very frustrated with NASCAR management. Some of the decisions they made, the problem with the car they're running today, they developed a brand new car. There was a lot of people that criticized IndyCar because they came up with a formula and designed a car, and everybody used it as that car. And NASCAR was part of the group that said, "What the hell are you doing?" And now all of a sudden, NASCAR is doing the same damn thing. NASCAR is manufacturing the car. It's the only car being used, and it's not performing as well as the the car that they replaced it with. So, the question is, does NASCAR know what the hell they're doing? They can't get the car to produce on short and medium-sized tracks. It races real well on the super speedways, but see, the problem with that is it races real well on super speedways until they crash, and then half the field is gone.
Right.
I don't understand that racing. I really don't, because you go there and you got to realize that you got a 50-50 chance of losing your race team. I mean, the car's going to crash out. So there's $300,000 gone just to participate, and that's absolutely nuts. But that's what they do, and they do that 4 times a year. Actually, 5 times, because they raced in Atlanta too, and Atlanta's getting to be the same way. Anyway, that's what's going on with NASCAR racing. It would be interesting, and I wish I could get some highlights from Elkhart Lake, because that racetrack is just so cotton picking pretty. You're racing through the countryside. Actually, I shot a spot for ESPN when ESPN was televising the races up there of cows grazing 15 feet from the track. And then when the race cars came by, they kind of scattered, but it was neat to see the cows doing their thing with 700 horsepower cars going by them. But that was Elkhart Lake. Kind of a cool place.
I was just out there a couple weeks ago, actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're up by there.
Yeah, and my work does that once a year, where they take us out there to use that little go-kart track that's on the inside of the track. So yeah, that was fun. I had a fun time there. But yeah, I was just out there recently. Yeah, maybe when the race comes through, we'll see what I got going on, if I can get out there for it.
Luke, this is for you. Where's the NASCAR fan? No, not NASCAR fan. Where's the Yankee fan?
He took off. I don't know. He's hot. He's probably, honestly, if we know him, he's probably on his phone right now looking at Yankee highlights. He snuck away to watch Yankee highlights.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
He says he's having a smoke.
Oh yeah, I don't blame
while
you.
he's watching the highlights of the Yankees.
That was me.
The Dodgers yesterday, so
that was me 15 years ago. Holy cow! This will crack you up. I worked in Green Bay for Snyder National, and we probably had 450 people in the offices in that building, and we had one room that was 12 by 12. That was the smoking room.
Oh, you didn't even have to light up.
Exactly.
You didn't have to light up.
You just walked in and whoa. And originally, it didn't have an exhaust fan in it either. So it was, the tables turned to tar. It was wild, to say the very least.
I want a smoking room like that for pot.
Oh, you were talking about you flying over to Bangkok or to Vietnam. I'm wondering, and this is just a wishful thought, but I was around when air transportation started getting real popular, and we first got chewing gum, and then they realized that chewing gum would get in the carpets and into the seats. So they gave up on giving out chewing gum, and they turned to cigarettes. And so when you get on a flight, you were offered Winston, Pell Mell, Salem was offered. I can't remember who else. But anyway, that you were offered a package of 5 cigarettes. Man, and that's if you're on an hour flight, you're given 5 cigarettes. But anyway, and I'm just wondering when they're going to go to edibles. I mean, it's a coming thing in so many states now. It's legal, and it would make the passengers a lot more relaxed.
Nighty night for me. Whenever I take a long flight, it's nighty night for me. You said it, Pops. So I take my medication and I'm done. I put myself in suspended animation like I'm in a Star Trek, baby. You know what I mean? Minnie, how were the Yankee highlights? That's why you snuck away to watch Yankee highlights, right? That's what me and Pops were speculating.
No, that's not what Pops was speculating.
I don't
Maybe
know.
you.
I don't know. Roll back the tape. Maybe not. I'm just saying. I don't know.
We're
all suspect of you now.
Or was it in reverse? Did the Dodgers crush them? I'm not even sure. I know they were playing each other, and the score was pretty lopsided.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Hey, the one thing I can be happy about is my guy, the little shortstop, is still producing records, which is pretty awesome.
Little Jose Altuve.
No, my shortstop.
Oh, Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah.
He's not little. He's 6'6".
Well, that's true. But he's awfully skinny.
Yeah. How much does he weigh? 6'6". He got to weigh 200 at least, though, right?
Probably, yeah. It's probably like 210.
That's pretty thin for a 6'6".
Did you see that pickoff play last night?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, how do you do that?
By the way, I lost my first baseball bet of the year.
Oh, no.
It only took till June. And I bet
you lost one in May. You bet the Cubs with me. You don't remember? I put it in, and I put my own money on it, too.
So that's 2 and 3 months of the season. That's pretty
Allegedly.
good. Allegedly. Trust me, I wouldn't be alive if I lost more bets than 2. My wife would kill me. No, I lost one to the UPS driver, man. He's a big Reds fan. Real cool dude. And I bet him $5 on the series, and the Reds took it 3 or 4. So Cubs took the last game, but the Cubs are not.
That is a soft spot, because when you lost your bet with me, you had me put money on the Cubs for me and you both.
Mm-hmm.
The Cubbies, man. The Cubbies seem to be going in the tank, bro.
A little bit. We'll talk about it for sure. To the standings. Of course, we've got to start. Excuse me. In the AL East.
They got their ass kicked, 2 out of 3 games of the White Sox, right?
No, they took both those games, actually.
They came back.
They came back both games, yeah. Yeah, I know.
They came back. My bad.
Yeah, no, I turned both games off when the
they came back. No, they were. Yeah,
and then I got an alert that the Cubs are coming back, and so I turned the game back on, and I'm like,
correct.
Yeah.
You don't want to be losing to the White Sox, or
no, they're horrible. That was their 13th straight loss in a row. By the way, it was not. They are not good. They're bad. They're real bad. All right. I think they won 2 games in a row after that, though. But to the AL East and Pook's New York Yankees are leading.
I'm indifferent, bro. Here's the thing. When you say
21.
Here's the thing. When you say Pook's New York Yankees, everyone knows that's bullshit, because I'm so indifferent. Like, I couldn't tell you shit. Like, I couldn't tell you shit about all the things you know about the Yankees. If you forgot 2/3, legit, you know this is true. If you forgot 2/3 of your Yankee knowledge, you'd still know more about the Yankees than me. Way more.
Probably.
Way more. Absolutely.
All right, they're 5-21. They're 2.5 games up above the very reminiscent 2016 Cubs for me is the Baltimore Orioles. Team is just stacked with young guys. Number 1 prospect in baseball got called up earlier this year, Jackson Holiday, son of Matt Holiday, big time, long time MLBer. But he's been sent down, so we'll see if he comes up. But it's still close. 8-2 in the last 10, the Yanks, and 7-3 the Orioles. So their third place is it's the rest of the AL East. Like I said, I think a week ago, it's going to be a game above 500, game below 500, 2 games below 500, 2 games above 500. The Red Sox, Braves, and Chris Benoit Balls, who's finally back from his 6-month tour of Latvia, Estonia, and that other place. That his Blue Jays, are bringing up the rear. In the AL Central, the Guardians still doing it. There's a nice little funny controversy about them. They, if you look at their stadium last year in right field, you'll see a bunch of like kind of barriers, if you will, and I think they use it for like billboards and stuff sometimes too. Well, they took those out this year, and the Guardians are all of a sudden hitting dingers like they've never hit before with the same lineup that they had last year for the most part. So they created a bit of a jet stream in the stadium, which it works both ways, you know. It works both ways,
Right.
but they got a plus 90 run differential, 42 and 22 win-loss record, 3.5 games above the Kansas City Royals. And the rest of it, Minnesota Twins, who are up there, they're still above 500, but they're 9 games back. The Tigers are just at 500, still paying Javi Baez an insane amount of money. And the Chicago White Sox,
Oh, man.
25 and a half games back with a minus 142 run differential to lead Major League Baseball. Get some. They won 2 in a row after getting swept by the Cubs. But, yeah. The AL West, much to my surprise, Seattle Mariners on top, 36 and 30. They got a plus 5 run differential. Was not that strong. Lost 2 in a row, 6 and 4 in the last 10. Remember, George Kirby is my Cy Young pick, and it's not looking good. Either the Texas Rangers, they're 3 games below 500, but they're only 4.5 games back with a plus 13 run differential. And my rookie of the year, White Langford, is those trash banging son of bitches down in Houston, Texas, are 30 and 35. They're 5.5 games back. They have a plus 8 run differential, 6 and 4 in the last 10. Oakland Athletics fighting desperately with the Los Angeles Angels and Anaheim to see who's the worst in the West. Man, this is bad. Oakland bad. It's gonna be the Sacramento Athletics in it, and then it's gonna be the Las Vegas Athletics. And I don't know how that's gonna work out. They actually requested 10% of their home games be played abroad. Every MLB team is expected to have 4% of their home game slots open for international games, and then MLB lets them know, yeah, we're not going to use you, or yeah, we are. And Oakland, soon to be Sacramento, soon to be Los Angeles, soon to be Las Vegas, wants 10% of their games overseas. So I don't know. We'll see. The National League, the Philadelphia Fighting Phils, just running the fuck away with it. Jeez, 8.5 games up on the Braves, a plus 108 run differential. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They are just mowing it down.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of their game yesterday, that London series game that they had. They was it like the 4th inning? They just couldn't stop hitting. They batted around. It was, jeez, when these guys are on, all of a sudden they're on.
It seems to me, I'm going to have to do some, I think I mentioned this before, we're going to have to do some all-star break re-predictions and look at all the ones I made preseason and then adjust and see how bad I do between the two. But I didn't have the Phils playing this well. I also didn't count on that. Braves having 2 of their best players go down. It doesn't help.
Yeah. That doesn't help at all.
But the Phils, man, they are just ripping it up. Good for them, man. It's good for baseball because you could have the NLCS at the Phillies and the Dodgers. East Coast, West Coast, Hollywood, Pompey versus, hardcore blue collar. I mean, the Phillies are, come on. It's Philadelphia. It's a blue collar team, right? Like you identify with Phils as they're a blue collar team, they're blue collar city. They got that, kind of chip on the shoulder attitude where it's just LA. It's just, LA. You ever been hiking in LA? You ever had tacos in LA? Everybody hates LA except for people that live in LA. So that's gonna be good, and that probably is what's going to happen, because let's be honest, nothing's out of the NL Central that's scary. So anyways, moving on. to finish up the NL East, the Nationals, the New York Mets, and the Miami Marlins are 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 23 and a half games back. It's not even a 2-horse race, but there's only 2 horses still alive. One of them's got a busted leg, being the Atlanta Braves, but he's still alive, but the Phillies are just gone. To the Central. Oh my gosh. This is a fucking shit show if I ever fucking saw one. The Milwaukee Brewers are in first place, 38-27, the 585 winning percentage, 18-10 at home, 20-17 away, plus 61 run differential. They lost one. They're 6-4 in their last 10. The Cincinnati Reds have now leapfrogged the Cubs and tied them for second place. Guess who else is tied for second place in NL Central?
Taylor?
It's the Reds, it's the Cubs, it's the Cardinals, and the fucking Pirates, all tied at 6.5 games back of the Milwaukee Brewers.
It's crazy.
It's the second worst division in baseball.
Well, I'm not wearing my Cincinnati Reds hat, but I am wearing my yellow shirt of surrender.
Good. You should surrender, fucking Red. I got to pay the UPS guy $5 tomorrow. It's fucking bullshit. But despite Pittsburgh having, got to give credit where credit's due. St. Louis creeping back into it, fighting. Of course, everybody above them is playing like shit except for the Brewers, so I guess it's not that hard. But the Pirates got that duo combo. I can't remember the kid's name, but they got Paul Skeens, who so far is he's ceiling is so high. He's so good right now that he's just gonna get better. To the NL West, the Los Angeles Dodgers, weird. 7-3 in their last 10, plus 94 run differential. They are 8 games up on the Padres, 9 games up on the Giants, 10.5 games on the Diamondbacks. We're in the fucking World Series last year.
Does anybody have a chance of getting to them?
No. The Dodgers? No.
Yeah.
No. Not even close. No way. Like a plane crash would help.
Yeah.
Other than that, no. There's no way. They're just too fucking loaded.
Yeah.
They're just too loaded. I mean, but they did get swept by the Reds last week, so fuck do I know. They did. I almost took that bet. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. That's crazy. Because they're playing in Cincinnati and oh no, not gonna do it.
The one good thing about your UPS driver is now he's a Reds fan. And he's a Reds fan.
Mm-hmm.
And quit betting the Cubs with him and start picking your matchups, man. You'll smash them. This is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Start making them bet $20 bets. Start betting series when the Cincinnati Reds, face whoever, Atlanta.
The White Sox.
No. I wouldn't make that bet.
Anyways, nobody's catching those Dodgers, man. And like I said earlier, this is good for baseball. The AL really needs – the only thing the AL doesn't have is like a good rivalry right now because the Red Sox are kind of but they got the Yankees resurgence. That's cool. Cleveland is playing really well. That could be a thing. But in the National League, you look at the Phils and the Dodgers towards the end of the season, and that's going to be pretty exciting, I think. And I think just look at the playoff picture, just looking at it right now, it's Phillies, Braves, Brewers, Dodgers, and there's 2 spots open that everybody else is fighting for. The Reds, the Cubs, the Cardinals, Pods. So.
Hey, Pook, on the gambling front,
oh boy.
It used to be you could get pretty good odds if you get away into the opposing team's betting pool. In other words, Cincinnati is playing Cleveland. Cleveland had different odds than what Cincinnati had. So if you could bet in Cleveland, you could get a better bet.
Yeah. That's gone away.
It's completely gone away.
When I was big in sports gambling, and I was pretty heavy into it, allegedly, illegal world of betting. Yeah, you could get stale lines still. You could get lines that didn't move. You know, they could have moved 3 points in Vegas. Your local book has no idea that these lines moved. Like you said, you could shop odds by going to a bookie that was 2 hours away from you because they got a whole different media.
Sure.
They have a whole different setup. And they're, like you said, they're Reds. You got the Reds over here. You got Cincinnati over here. You got, yeah, that used to be the case. I remember so a guy was doing that with high school basketball. He was down in Terre Haute at Indiana State, and he was middling the teams because the spreads would be so off between.
How big was high school betting? Was that big deal up in Chicago?
And no, not in Chicago. This is Indiana high school basketball.
Yeah.
And Indiana, and I will, the underground betting on Indiana high school basketball, there was a lot of money exchanged hands, I'm sure, but the fact that just it was an event. I mean, we had a little stadium. I think maybe sat 5,000, like a 5,000. Yeah. We used to pack that thing standing room only every week, man. Indiana high school basketball. You go 20 years, 30 years back. You go 30 years back, and prior to that, 40 years back, 50 years back. It was a big thing. It was for real.
Yeah, I remember it in the 70s because I was in Indianapolis, and my God, that was wild.
No, and your local bookmakers at the bowling alley or the cigar shop or whatever, they'd set odds on high school basketball. Absolutely. But yeah, you could shop odds. Man, that's went away because of the internet. Everyone's got the same information now. Everyone's got the same information, and your local bookie is going to have updated lines, and he's going to go right off of. He's going to go if you're even in an area that still has local bookies, because the apps they got now, they've legalized it almost everywhere, and it's everyone you can go on buy. You can buy with a credit card. You can go on there and buy with a credit card, go on there and make bets with the credit card. Just fire it up. Why would you need a local bookie? The only reason you'd need a local bookie would be because you've literally ran out of money and you got a guy that'll give you credit. And that don't sound like a very good deal for the local bookie either. Right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, information and the legalization of sports gambling has really killed that. That used to be a thing.
All right, to league leaders. Just go over that real quick. Still leading batting average in MLB is Bobby Witt Jr. with 322. Jurickson Profar 322. Marcell Ozuna, who's not only batting 319, but homeboys crushing baseballs. Juan Soto, Mookie Betts. Pitching leaders in wins: Ranger Suarez still up there with 10. Seth Lugo, Aaron Nola with 8. Mitch Keller 8. That's the other duo when I was talking about in Pittsburgh. You got Paul Skeens, who's dating Livy Dunn. Gorgeous. Dude, if everybody, I get the hate. If there's any hate at Paul Skeens, I get it. Like, gangster pitcher at like number one overall draft, comes in the major leagues his first year out in the minors, starts to dominate, wearing the fucking 70s Magnum PI mustache, and he's dating a 5'3" gorgeous blonde gymnast. Oh yeah, his life sucks right now. It's terrible. Oh yeah, just boom. Oh, and the other guy, Mitch Keller, his buddy, his roommate, is crushing it in Pittsburgh too. So despite their best efforts, despite having 2 almost number ones, not quite there yet, but I mean, if Pittsburgh can get some position players, back some of these guys up, like Mitch and Paul Skeens, they could be nasty. You could see something. If that franchise, which never spends money, is willing to spend a little money, where and when it's needed, might next year might be a different Pittsburgh Pirates. Might be having to raise it. Might have to raise the flag a lot. Home runs. Aaron Judge, just fucking Jesus. 23. Gunnar Henderson, 20. Kyle Tucker, 19. Marcell Ozuna, we mentioned earlier, 18. Jose Ramirez of Cleveland with 18. Earned run average. Ranger Suarez up there. Of course, he's up there with wins with 10, 1.81. Luis Gil, 1.82. Ronaldo Lopez, 1.85. Tanner Hook of Boston, 1.91. Can't pronounce the other guys, so I'm just going to skip it. The most overrated stat, RBIs. Jose Ramirez, Aaron Judge, Marcell Ozuna, Juan Soto, Alec Boehm. Staves, Ryan Hesley with 21 in St. Louis. Emmanuel Clase in Cleveland, 19. Clay Holmes and with the Yankees, 18. Kyle Figgin, 17. And Robert Suarez of San Diego, 17.
Why do you say that's overrated?
Because everybody looks at it and that's just like, oh, that's, there's been MVPs given out for guys who just crushed RBIs and really didn't do much at all. They're just a bat guy. It's a sexy stat, and people put too much on it. I like OPS better.
Yeah.
And OPS plus, because that tells me how much you're on base and how hard you hit with people on base.
But doesn't the RB now? This is a guy that I don't know shit about baseball, and I can prove it with my mouth. That being said, doesn't the RBI kind of tell you who's the clutch guy, the guy that can hit a run in?
Not necessarily, because if you think of if you think it depends on it, it's not an all or nothing thing. Like for instance, like last year, I can't remember who batted cleanup for the Atlanta Braves, but they broke every offensive record in Major League Baseball, right? So the RBI leader on the Braves, do you think he was a better hitter or more valuable guy than a guy on a team that was, say, playing for like Kansas City or playing for like, I don't know, another kind of middle of the road team like Milwaukee? No, because he's always got guys in front of him to hit anyway, so they got to throw him strikes. So he's always going to get RBI.
I remember.
It's overrated, in my opinion.
I played baseball for a couple of years. I really sucked, but I played, and I remember that was like the huge stat, especially when we were at that age when not everyone could hit a home run. That was a huge stat right there. That RBI was like
that too. And remember, when we were kids, you were lucky to get the player name, his batting average, is strikeouts and RBIs. That's what you got. Like across.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of new stats.
All you got, and now they have on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS plus adjusted. Like it's more crazy. Let's see. Hits Luis Reyes, formerly of the Miami Marlins, now with San Diego at 91. Bobby Witt Jr. out of Kansas City, 84. Mookie Betts in third. William Contreras, a catcher, with 80. And, of course, Shohei Ohtani with 79. Strikeouts, Tyler Glasnow leading the league, 104. Garrett Crochet from the White Sox, 103. Tariq Goodbye of Detroit, 96. Jack Flaherty of Detroit, 94. And Dylan Cease out of San Diego after being traded from the White Sox at 93. Stolen bases. Anybody want to guess who leads the league in stolen bases?
Pops Guy
leads the league in stolen bases. 34. 11 over to the next guy in Milwaukee, Bryce Turang. Bobby Jr.'s only got 19. Bryson Stott has got 18. And yeah, that part up. Just to give Pook some more ammunition, Juan Soto and Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees are doing something that has never been done. Look at these motherfucker stats right now for back-to-back guys in a lineup. Right now, 2024, Juan Soto has a 3.5 WAR. Well, you know what that means? It means wins above replacement. So he is 3.5 games better over the course of a season than any other, league average player. He's got 17 home runs and 239 at bats. He's batting .318. He's got 53 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, an on base percentage of .424, slugging percentage of .603, giving him a OPS of 1.027. Now it gets even funner because you go to Aaron Judge. WAR, anyone want to guess? Juan Soto's was 3.5, right? What's Juan Soto's WAR? Anyone want to guess? Come on, guess. Yeah,
3.6.
I'm not the Yankee fan.
4.7. And 235 at bats. He's got 70 hits, 23 home runs. He's hit 298 bat average, 49 runs scored, 57 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, a 432 on base percentage, a 685 slugging percentage for an OPS of 1.1117. Yeah.
The mysteries of the Yankees and all their titles. Oh, the Yankees.
Hey,
Lighten up, Francis.
I'm going to have to surrender. I see you guys all next week.
All right.
Well, Pop.
Pops.
Yeah, well, Pop's battling under the weather.
Yeah, he's battling the cold. That is.
So what I'm gonna if I can get motivated, because I definitely have the time. If I can get motivated to do this, I think I'm going to put together a montage. It's going to probably be like an hour long. It's just going to be you talking about the Yankees. And all I have to do, you talking positive about the Yankees. All I have to do is go through the archives and fast forward to your segment and just sit and wait maybe 3-4 minutes and boom, I'll have a clip. 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 It would take me like what? Let's say maybe 3 minutes a show. You talk positive about the Yankees. You have something nice to say about the Yankees, past or present. Shit. What we've done 20 shows. That's an hour. I mean, we've done 20 shows. I only have to go that far back. I just go about 20 shows back. I'll have a full hour of you talking about the Yankees, talking how great the Yankees are. You know,
I can't fucking lie. They're in first place.
If you put all the positive things you say about the Cubs in one bucket and all the positive things you say about the Yankees in this, you couldn't hold this bucket up. The Yankee bucket, you wouldn't even be able to hold it up.
Well, the Cubs are stinking it up right now. What do you want me to do? I can't lie. I can't lie about it. Cubs are terrible, man.
I remember when you had Rizzo going to the Yankees, and I'm like, oh my God, what's this?
Dude, I called I called every single part of that blow up correctly.
You were right, man.
Where they were going, when they were going. Yeah. I was like, this is the end. And it was.
We had the Yankees, man.
I found it.
Have you ever said anything bad about Aaron Judge?
Everybody.
No, I love Aaron Judge.
No.
He's one of those guys. He is one of those players. Look, Shohei Ohtani's on the Dodgers, and I hate the fucking Dodgers, but I love Shohei. How can you not?
You talk about Aaron Judge the way my senior drill instructor talked about Chesty Puller, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. you are you got the jersey? You got the Aaron Judge jersey?
No, I can't afford that, dude. I can't afford that. Yeah, I wish I could, but yeah, I can't afford a Aaron Judge jersey. I couldn't afford the jersey I wanted. The jersey I wanted for Christmas was $450. Like, no, not happening.
What have you ever considered buying a knockoff?
So I bought the Nike kind of not t-shirt, but like Nike kind of like light jersey. Like not, it's authentic, it's MLB, but it's not like a jersey.
Man, these knockoffs from China, if you buy them direct from China, man, and they're
why you want me to give my mortal enemy, the Communist Chinese Party, my money?
Because probably the same factory that's making Nike shit is doing their own jerseys as well. And I mean, everything's made over there. All the Nike products.
Remember 20 years ago, everything was made in Japan.
All the electronics.
Now it's China. Pretty soon it's gonna be India, and it's gonna be Cambodia, and it's gonna be Laos.
Bro, they're gonna turn.
There's gonna be places in Africa that are gonna spread
turning
up
America into Cambodia, India, and Laos, bro. So,
all right, we're getting a little too off the range there, if you will. But unless you boys have any other baseball questions for me, I know Pook probably has something in his fucking. Oh, hold on. Forgot about this. My bad. This past week, Padres, Tuca, damn, dude, I'm going to go full Pook. Tucupita Marçano gets a lifetime ban for baseball bets. Woo! San Diego's infielder, Tucupita Marçano, has been permanently banned from Major League Baseball after violating the league's gambling policy. MLB announced on Tuesday Marcano's ban was accompanied by 1-year suspensions for 4 other players: Oakland Athletics reliever Michael Kelly and minor leaguer players Joe Grom, Jose Rodriguez, and Andrew Salfranek of the Arizona Diamondbacks. MLB received data from legal sports betting operator concerning baseball gambling activity from accounts that belong to the above players. The league announced under the MLB rules, personnel are not allowed to take part in sports gambling, provided they are allowed. Provided it is legal in the jurisdiction, they do not bet on diamond sports, that is baseball or softball. Each player violates a part of that. Hook, what do you think?
I think that if I played Major League Baseball in this day and age, I'd probably catch a lifetime ban as well.
Would you?
It'd be real hard. It'd be a real hard temptation to for me not to partake.
Why?
In that, honestly. Yeah,
what's MLB minimum salary this year? Let's see. Let's look this up. MLB minimum salary for 2024 is $570,500. Take 30% from the government, 10% from your agent. You're still looking at, I don't know, close like 350, 385 a year, and you're gonna risk that on a bet that you can't even win your salary on? Really?
Maybe not 47-year-old Pook would do that. That's been knocked around a bit and knows.
You can bet on anything else, by the way, anything else.
But but I'm not going to have inside information. I'm not going to have inside information on anything else.
Yeah, because sports stars from other sports never ever talk to each other. Right?
Oh, I'd be betting that too. But maybe here's the thing: technology, the way it is too now, like they got ways to catch you, like especially if the FBI gets involved, man. And
so then why do it?
The temptation would be so great.
You're gonna get caught.
The Pook made his first sports bet when he was like 8 years old. And it wasn't, and it's probably the kind of same bets I make now. It's probably like a $20, $25 bet. I probably mowed somebody's lawn and got paid that money and then wagered it right after, put it into play.
You know the first bet I lost, Pook?
I don't bet my whole paycheck anymore. I'm just saying.
First bet I ever lost.
What was
it was national championship game, Fab 5. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Webber?
Yep.
Getting the technical. I'm calling a timeout without
There's no timeout.
Yeah, first bet I ever lost. So yeah, been down that road, but I give my left nut to play Major League Baseball, or be transported 25 years younger. And play. I
remember. I wanted my friend to go play.
I think I'd fit in with the Phillies. You think? I'd fit in with the Phillies, wouldn't I? With the beard and the bald shit.
Hell yeah!
Like me and Bryce is fucking.
You could be like the third base coach, bro.
The third base coach. Yeah. No, I'd fit in there. I'd fit in there more than I think I would with the Cubs right now, which is weird.
Did you see Bryce's celebration after he hit that home run to tie the game that kind of started the rally. He did the whole soccer slide on his knee because they were playing in England. And then he's like, I love soccer.
He's a fucking gangster, dude. How can you not love that guy? How can you not like Bryce Harper? He's a fucking maniac, dude. He just loves baseball. Loves it. Crushes it. I mean, I saw a video of him. He was swinging a 37-ounce aluminum bat, hitting dingers with a 37-ounce aluminum bat. Now, it's aluminum, but it's still 37 ounces. It's just...
That's what they need.
Jesus. My best bet I ever had, it was illegal. It was a 32-inch 27-ounce bat, -5 bat, which it made illegal, but I kept using it because
you know what I say to that, Minnie?
What?
The all-steroid, all-aluminum bat league, my man.
Oh,
that's the ticket.
You have to put fucking like you have to put the screen in front of the pitchers because
somebody's getting killed.
Somebody's gonna get exploded.
Make it even more exciting. Move the mound back.
Blew a hole right through his chest.
Well, you want to make it harder for batters. You just move the mound up, not back.
No, I'm saying you move the mound back so these guys are gonna not have nearly as much on their pitches, and the base hitter, the hitter, can see the ball coming better, and the pitcher will be a safe distance away, and that way we'll have more hits, more home runs.
Yeah.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Chicks do dig the long ball. They do, for sure.
Yeah. And the knockout.
And the knockout, yes.
And the knockout, yeah.
And the 80s party.
Absolutely.
All right. Any other questions about baseball? Pook. T.
Well, we had a guy get banned for life for betting.
Oh, I talked about that. Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Was that when I was on the phone with my wife?
Yes.
Man, we were talking about that at length, man. The Pook was saying he would have got caught in that snare if he was a major leaguer in this day and age.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, like, any players coming to play for a team in Wisconsin, it's going to be a lot harder to get in that situation to begin with, because our betting here, you have to do it on site on the way things are written. You got to go to one of the tribe casinos. You can't. We don't have an app in Wisconsin.
Okay.
I'd have a guy at the freaking sports book, and I'd be calling them with, you're going to want to take the Reds today. You're going to want to take.
So it's a little
maybe
harder.
Even that'd be the way to do it with some code words too. Be like,
Yeah.
But I mean, they'll catch on to your code words anyway. If you're under like FBI.
Yeah. So what's the point? Just bet on everything but baseball.
Yeah, it's just it's a little bit harder here because somebody's got to physically be at Potawatomi or Oneida or Ho Chunk.
Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's never gonna get in though. Ever.
Yeah, as long as you got pussies and faggots running this thing.
Easy.
But yeah.
Easy.
Well, if we're done with baseball, I guess I can do a little bit of hockey quick, but it's there's only so much going on right now because
go for it.
Stanley Cup Finals did start last night. First couple games here are down in Sunrise, Florida, home of the Panthers. Sergei Bobrovsky came up big for the Panthers. They won 3-0, got the shutout in game 1. Game 2 is going to be going on tonight. 8 Eastern, you can catch the game on ABC. And then the AHL playoffs are winding up here too. My Admirals are out. They got beat by Coachella Valley for the second year in a row. So second year in a row, Coachella Valley is in the Calder Cup Finals. Last year, they lost in overtime in Game 7, won the whole series. So, and those same Hershey Bears are playing the Cleveland Monsters tonight.
The Hershey Bears?
The Hershey Bears, yep.
I love it!
They're the minor league team for the Washington Capitals. They won the Calder Cup last year. They are down 3-2 right now to the Cleveland Monsters, which I don't like the rebrand. The Cleveland Monsters used to be the
Fucking
Lake
terrible.
Erie Monsters.
What they used to be?
They used the Lake Erie Monsters, which sounded a lot cooler because it was like the Loch Ness Monsters. Their logo
Yeah,
like
makes
Loch
more
Ness
sense.
Monsters.
No, that makes
So
more
they
sense.
used to be the Lake Erie Monsters, but they changed it to the Cleveland Monsters, and it's like that doesn't sound good. Why did you get rid of the Lake Erie? But yeah, they're the Columbus Blue Jackets, minor league team up there in Cleveland. But yeah, they should have stuck with the Lake Erie Monsters. It was way cooler.
So
I agree.
The Hershey Bears, that's Hershey, Pennsylvania, right?
Yep, Hershey, Pennsylvania. Yep. And
They weren't formerly known as the Hershey Squirts, were they?
no, that would have been a better name, huh? Their uniforms do got that kind of like chocolate brown color to it, though, because obviously it's the chocolate city there.
The Hershey Highway.
The Hershey Highway. That actually would be a funny name, too. That would be a good one. The Hershey Highway.
What's wrong with you people?
The Hershey's Kiss, my man.
That's what she said.
But yeah, that's what's going on in hockey. And then Joe Pavelski, longtime San Jose Shark. He was the captain there, and then he went on to the Dallas Stars after they got eliminated. Now in the Western Conference Finals, he announced that he is retiring from the NHL. So Joe Pavelski has played his last game, which is unfortunate. That was one of my favorite players just because he was from up by Stevens Point. So love the Wisconsin guys, but and then coming out of the same youth program, you got Cole Caulfield playing right now for the Canadiens. So, yeah, Stevens Point puts out some good hockey players. But, yeah, Joe Pavelski is finally
it's frozen 9 months of the year up there. So,
yeah, true enough. But, you know, I don't think we don't got any kids out of the program my kids went through, the Fond du Lac program that I can think of that made it to the NHL yet. So, Stevens Point has 2 that were currently rostered.
Yeah,
they got a good program up there. Oh, and last week when I was doing the hockey update, I forgot to mention the first year of the Professional Women's Hockey League ended with Minnesota beating Boston for the title. So they're the first cup winners. Minnesota's the first cup winners. I think I don't like about the PWHL is all their uniforms are exactly the same and they don't have team names yet. So it's just like it's the same design uniform and it's just different color schemes for the different cities. So they got to do something where they get some names for these teams.
Well, they get a team in Cincinnati. I'll check them out. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, unless you got any other questions for me, final thoughts, boys? Pook, what you got?
Well, Minnie, I just want to tell you straight up, we got to come up with a better. This is for sports shirts. This is sports shirts. Well, I set you up for failure today, and I apologize. We really should have a better system of pulling up clips and slides. I don't think WhatsApp is making it. We're going to have to do something different. So that being said, don't do anything stupid like any kind of violence in the political nature because it's probably a Fed putting you up to it. And don't take your life or anyone else's. And Minnie.
Yes, sir.
And T, have a good night, gentlemen.
All right. All right, T, what you got?
Good joining everybody again. Had fun on the bar last night, so if you didn't watch that last night, you can download the Rumble app.
Yes.
Get an account on there. Follow Barracks Party Media on there. Check us out there. Rumble, that's where it's at right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Please, again, we're always live on Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Rumble. But go and get a Rumble account, download it, find Barracks Party Media, follow us. Doesn't cost you anything. Watch some of the videos, leave comments, hit the thumbs up, especially Pook. You got a Rumble account?
Yes, sir.
All right, I know T does. All
yes,
right,
and it kind of pisses me off. kind of pisses me off because I'll look up Sports Church and it'll be like the freaking 10th video down, and it's the name of the program.
Yep,
you know what I mean? So I don't
we
know,
gotta get
man.
we gotta get more people downloading it, more people liking it, more people watching it, so we can eventually just quit everything else and just do Rumble and Twitter. The only really true safe places on the internet, if you will. Remember, never take a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And there's plenty of resources out there for you to reach out. Thanks for tuning in to our silly little sports show. Thank you to Pops. Thank you to Poop. Thank you to Pterodactyl for all your efforts and stories in this show. And without further ado, I think we are going to call it. I'd like to talk to you guys for 2 seconds afterwards. But yeah.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.